Welcome to the Emotional Balance Sheet, the go-to podcast for parents with multiple kids, especially those with twins, triplets, or more, who are navigating the maze of modern family life and personal finance. Whether you're overwhelmed by education or retirement planning, parenting dilemmas, career transitions, or trying to define your purpose and plan, we're here to guide you with empathy, encouragement, and expertise. Hosted by Paul Fenner, founder of Tama Capital, a certified financial planner and parent to 4 kids, including a set of triplets. Our podcast is your ally in the quest for financial peace of mind, proving that money matters, but family comes first. Subscribe now and join our community of empowered parents at tamacapital.com. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Clients of Tama may retain positions in the securities discussed in this podcast.
What does comprehensive financial planning even mean? At Tama Capital, it means a family office where lifestyle planning such as retirement, college, portfolio management, and tax prep and planning are all under one umbrella. But it goes beyond numbers. We focus as much on the emotional side of financial planning as we do on the financial side. We get you. We understand your challenges of building a family, business or career, and a healthy life. We are devoted to wealth planning for families like yours because we are you. Learn how our family can help your family by visiting tamacapital.com. Hi, welcome back. As the summer vacation season begins to kick off, I know my kids will be out of school at the end of this week. I wanted to talk about a topic that comes up every summer. And I've been doing this for a long time. And that topic is buying a vacation home or second home. And full disclosure, I'm going to share a lot of personal things in this conversation because my wife, Teresa, and I did exactly this about 3 years ago. So as most of you know, we live in the Metro Detroit area, and we started vacationing basically once a year in the Traverse City area about 8 years ago, looking at the calendar, when our triplets were, I think, 5, and Mackenzie, our plus one, was maybe 3. And it was like the best vacation like we had ever had up to that point. And just imagine vacation. I don't know if it's really a vacation with 4 kids, but everyone got along great. We did a lot of cool things. We were at the beach. It was just awesome. And Teresa and I looked at each other like, let's just book for next year. And then the year next came, and we booked the year after that and just kept booking. And we finally got to the point where we really thought about what it might be like to have a place in the Traverse City area. And so we started looking around as most people would do with that idea, not knowing what to expect. And so after a few years of looking and looking, we finally found a place. Actually, it was the same exact unit that we rented almost every year. And the long and short of the story is we missed out on getting it by about, 6 hours. And so we're like, well, we can just kill this dream because it's never going to happen again. But lo and behold, about 6-7 months later, another property came up, which is even better. It fit us, our family of 6, even better than the unit that we were previously renting. And so we went after it. But before that, there were a lot of conversations between the two of us, and being the financial advisor and modeler and planner that I am, I had some nice spreadsheets that I put together and pro-con list of whether this could work or not. And there's, I think, a few things that you need to take into consideration when thinking about buying a second home is, what is the purpose of it? Are you buying it as an investment property? No different than, putting money into your IRA or 401k. Do you plan on getting a return on it? Because that's very different than buying it and renting it out, but having this idea that Teresa and I had that this is one of the places that we would like to retire. We would Our game plan was to spend our summers in the Traverse City area when our kids get older, and then potentially find another place to live down south. Um, being being here in the winters in Michigan is typically not a whole lot of fun, and I know Teresa really does not like it. She would have moved to Florida years ago, but we're still here. Um, but those two ideas set up very differently. Buying something just for an investment property, which I have a few clients that have done that, versus our approach where we rent our condo out, but it's going to be a second home for us down the road. So, what do I mean by the two big differences here? Well, if you're looking at it from a return perspective, you got to make sure that what you're putting in it as far as assumptions on what you're going to be able to rent it for and what it's going to cost you and what that ultimately return you're looking for is going to be. And don't forget the time and the hassle of taking on such an endeavor. Even if you have a property management company manage your bookings, manage the rental aspect of it, like we do at our condo, there's still a lot of work that goes into it. There's still a lot of conversations between us and the property management company, and things can go wrong all the time. There's no shortage of surprises, and as you could imagine, they're not always great surprises either. But on the flip side, knowing that this is a place that Teresa and I ultimately want to live and make our true second home, we're not necessarily concerned about the return on investment. Our goal is to try to break even on it, if you consider it that way. Unlike an investor, they're trying to get a return on that. And again, going back to the time, the headaches involved in that, it may not be worth it. One other thing I want to point out before I kind of get into some of the cost breakdowns is when you do consider buying a second home or vacation home, think about other areas of travel that will likely decrease, meaning you will feel obligated to utilize this property as much as possible. And obviously there's a cost to it. So it's very hard to imagine being able to take many other trips, if any at all, to other places that you may want to visit. So keep that in mind when you go to a place and you're like, think, wow, this is really awesome. We could see ourselves here like every year or multiple times a year. Really think about, is that really fit the lifestyle that you want to lead? If you're used to going to multiple different places every year, then tying yourself down to one place may not be the best option for you. So as far as the cost goes, obviously, if you're renting this out, you're going to have a property management company help you do that. And the cost of that ranges, there's big ranges depending on where your property is located. So I can give you, for example, in the Traverse City area, they can range from 30% all the way to 50% of taking your gross revenue. So let's just say, for ease of math, you rent out your home for $1,000. Well, the property management company is going to take 50% of that. So right off the bat, your 50% revenue is gone. Then, depending on where your property is at, most of the time the property taxes are going to be higher than your primary home. And I know in the state of Michigan and other states are like this too, is that there's such a thing called a homestead tax. So you pay your homestead, your primary home, you're paying a lower tax rate than you do on a second or vacation property. It's the law. It's the state. So I know with our taxes, it almost doubles on our rental property in Traverse. The other thing that from a cost perspective that you need to keep in mind is just like a primary home, you're going to have surprises. You're going to have a water heater that goes out, an HVAC system that fails, a plumbing that backs up. I mean, you name it. Those costs are no different than your primary home. So when you're setting up and I've done this for other families before going down this path, when you're setting up a spreadsheet model to try to figure out, okay, is this even financially feasible for us? You've got to put in some, I call it reserve funds for those unexpected costs that come up. So again, just to reiterate 3 things. One is your property management cost, which could vary greatly as an increase in cost. Taxes are likely going to be higher. And then third is increase in maintenance, because you got to think about the wear and tear on the unit if you're renting it out as well. So while personally, Teresa and I love what we've done with our place in Traverse City, I know a few other families that have done something similar, but they've treated it more like an investment, and they're on the fence. If they got the right number, they would probably sell their condo or home, because they took a very different approach. Like it was an investment. So again, be very clear about what path you're going down and your why. This is something I talk about on the show all the time, is understanding the purpose driving your decisions. Is it from an investment standpoint, which, it's a lot of work. It's still a lot of risk. And it's not like putting your money in a bond or a stock or anything like that. Real estate investment is different. And there's also some complexity with it as well, as far as having a Schedule E and filing on your tax return, versus all of that, what I just said, versus kind of the avenue that Teresa and I went in, where we're seeing this as an investment in our retirement, that this is a place that we will eventually make as part of our primary housing or home, if you will. But in order to do that, we have to supplement that with rental income during the busy summer, like we're about to head down. So a lot to cover on vacation rental and planning and secondary homes. But again, I know this is a topic I get asked about largely during the summer, as people start traveling to different parts of the country and thinking about, wow, this could be a really great place to live. So again, think through your why. What's the drivers behind the purpose of why you want to do something like this? And as always, I'm always here to help. If you have any questions about this or any of your other financial planning needs, just reach out. You can connect with us at tamacapital.com or respond back via email as well. Now that you've made it to the end of another great conversation, are you looking for more? If so, head over to tamacapital.com, where you will find all of our conversations. Use the search feature to find the topic or guest you would love to learn more about. Also, don't forget to make someone else's day by sharing our show. That's all for this week. We'll see you again soon.